be not just confined to the anatomy of the chair either, so that we are the ones that are riding the chair instead of the chair riding us, okay? So let's go ahead and just take our hands on our knees and let's take some strokes around those knees, all right? And just feel into all of that tissue that surrounds our knee. As I do that, I'm just kind of letting my spine, straight spine, okay? I'm not taking it into any kind of a bend, but a straight spine. I'm just taking that forward and back as I coordinate my movements here. Then I'm going to switch and go around in the other way. So Sherry, I would suggest doing some little squats to begin with, holding on to the counter, you know, and take those squats with your knees planted underneath your hips and just tiny little squats, okay? And then little by little extending those legs out and then turning toes out, heels in, and doing the squats. Now let's just take our hands to our hips. Don't come all the way back in the chair, but just partially keep that straight spine. How do I know if I'm straight? Lift through your heart, because we're going to want to go like this. So lift and then bring your straight spine up. Okay, so back and forth. And Laurie, I would take yourself and seat yourself with your hips up against the baseboard of a wall and have that wall be blank behind you. And let your spine find that length and see what that's like to have that straight spine. And you can be seated with your legs out, extended, so that you're in a, they call it, let's go to the side of our legs now, a staff pose, right? And you can flex into your feet and that will press the energy back into your spine up along the wall, okay? And then try taking your spine forward and back like we are right now, but maintaining the heart pulling forward, right? And shoulders down and that long spine. Come to the inside now and just take a little bit of rubbing on the inside, interior part of your legs. Maybe feeling this a little bit in your core, because we are using the core to bring ourselves back up to straight from that reclining position. And then upright. And the other thing that will help both of what you're doing, and I'm just giving you some ideas of things you can do that are on the floor. Now let's go ahead. Keep spine straight. Let your hands come down onto your shins. Bring yourself up, spine straight, okay? Is to lay down on your mats with your knees bent and your knees close to your heels, and go in and out of bridge pose, all right? So your hands would be flat. You lift your hips, having pressure anywhere but your neck, and lift those hips up and down. That's going to be good for your spine. And then in terms of the knees, you can take and straighten one leg out and then bend it, and then just keep practicing that lengthening and that bend, the lengthening and the bend with a flexed foot. And if you just flex through your foot, you're going to tighten all of those little ligaments around your knee, okay? Come up. Now let's take our straight spine, not just forward, but let us lean back, not all the way to the chair, okay? So a little fuller forward and back. Exhale. Inhale. Almost done with this. Hopefully you're not getting dizzy. One more. Down and then lifting up. Good. And now let's let our shoulders pull one side and then pull the other, keeping the spine still long, okay? Pull out like this, okay? Drifting over to one side, like our shoulder is really pulling us over in that direction. Using our oblique strength here. This will tighten up, strengthen up your side muscles, the transverse abdominals, which will help with your lower spine. And now it's reversed. So let's come forward and really taking that body over to the side. So keep in mind today, please keep in your heart, Josephine, she's just having a few, down moments here, and we all have those. And so just send your blessings in her direction. She'll feel them. You can hold space for her in that class today. And then let's come up. Let's keep that perpetual movement going. And let's make circles with our spine. Nice and long, okay? Spine long. Feeling yourself rotating, weighted onto one sits bone more than the other as you come onto that direction. And let's take it in the opposite way. Activating too a little bit of cardio with this perpetual motion, right? We're moving, and all of that moving is allowing our circulatory system to be more active, vibrant. Coming back into center, arms out. Let's take them one direction and the other. Straight spine. Find breath. Perpetual motion. One more to this side, one more to this side, back into center, hands down, lift up, exhale over. Bring yourself up. Exhale over. Take yourself up. Lengthen. Exhale. Bring yourself up. Exhale over. Focused on our breath. Focused on a long, lengthening side body and spine. One more set. Perpetual motion, arms lift, inhale. Exhale into cactus, rise up, inhale. Keep going. This time, inhale. Exhale, turn arms under, okay? Inhale, rise up. Exhale. One more set. Good. Perpetual motion, hands here, cow and cat. Feel the rounding and the opening. This is also good for your posture. Even though we don't walk around like this in cat, we don't walk around in cow, right? But you feel what it feels like to be off center. And then when we are going through center, you feel what that's like. And your feet are solid and your sits bones are solid. One more set. Perpetual motion, rise your arms up. Let's make some circles to whatever feels right for you in your shoulders, okay? And your wrist, and your thumb, and your hand. Same with the speed, right? I'm trying to keep it with my breath. So I don't want to go too fast here, too hard. We're not doing that. Let's swing in the opposite way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring yourself forward, straight spine, okay? You got to really engage through here to do that. And again, hands can be right here. The idea is straight spine, tailbone, crown, length in between, okay? So here or here, and then bring it back to straight. Bring it forward. This takes a little more effort in your abdominals than pulling back, but pulling back and down helps to open up your shoulders. So maybe you want to switch back and forth, or again, do what feels right for you. And breathing. One more. Good. This hand here, come on over, exhale. Take yourself in then 2 circles. Trying to see about that straight spine. And circle the other way. Good, arms down, lift up, opposite arm. Come on over. Take yourself into some circles. You can rest your head back on your hand and wrist that's behind you there. Maybe, unless that's Lori's sore arm, you don't want to do that. Bring yourself up. Inhale, arms out. Let's take little tiny circles here. Little tinies, okay? Slow circles. Try to engage muscle to bone on your biceps and triceps, pulling up any of that gravitational skin muscle that we have that likes to hang there. Let's let it say we want to pull you up. And then reverse your little tiny circles. There we go. And exhale, hands down. And let's sit in mountain. Let's take a few breaths after that kind of igniting 15 minutes of getting started in that perpetual motion. Good for you guys. A few more breaths, just coming into calming here. Okay. And now let's go ahead and lift our arms up, inhale. And let's take right under left, bend, bring your hands into your eagle, palms together, maybe pull shoulders down, sits bones down, feet placed, crown reaching up, nice straight spine. And so it's good if you go up against the wall to try different arm positions, different leg positions, and see how that feels to keep that spine long. And then we need to work on core because that will help us with our posture too. Inhale, lengthen those arms up. Exhale, pick up your left foot and just pick the foot up, but curl your elbows into your navel area. Flex into the foot of the leg that's lifted. lift and your upper body up, the lower body down. Inhale, exhale, pick up that right foot, flex it, curl, tuck, round. Foot comes down, lifting. Exhale, keep going. And Lori, if this is not comfortable for you, take your hands just to your shoulders, okay? That's a good modification for not coming into full eagle. Or just let your hands be separated, not trying to hold one into the other. And I'm sure you already figured that one out. Let's do one more time each side. Always coming back to straight spine. How do we know we have a straight spine? We know because it takes work to have a straight spine. Release your arms. Let's let them just float and fly. It takes work, right? If I want to not have a straight spine and I want to just relax back in that chair, right? Then that doesn't take work. It takes work to defy gravity. It takes work to be consciously aware of what's going on with my spine. Okay, now we're going to go and do the other side. Make any modifications that you want. My left comes under my right. I come here, 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 or maybe interlace and wrap. And please be friendly to your body. Lift up here, right leg lifts. Exhale, pull down into you. Bring yourself up, lift. Opposite foot lifts, pull yourself into you. Take one foot down, lift the other one up. Pull yourself into your navel, elbows to navel. Lift up. Coordinated movements again. One more set. And release the arms. Let yourself go. And this time let the wrist come up, maybe into like a V. Let your arms float on down. Exhale. How's that spine? Can we lengthen up a little bit more? I know I just did. Really feel those lungs. Exhale. Compress. And exhale. All right, let's do a little bit of hip opening, and this will also perhaps work with your knee too, okay? So I'm gonna leave my one foot planted, I'm gonna let the other one lift, and I come and cross here, here, or up here, or on a block, okay? If that's good for you. And from here, we wanna flex into our foot, feel that energy coming up. Feel it and capturing in my knee area. Feel that energy continue to come back into my hip. Anytime we do a figure four, we're engaging in through all of these muscles. All right, so a pigeon pose would be a good way to work on opening up maybe your knees some. Sherry, reclined pigeon, I would suggest better than your forward pigeon. And we do some of those in the Wednesday classes. So sitting up straight and tall, bringing yourself a little bit weighted forward, okay? Straight spine. We want to collapse, but we're trying not to. How can I help with that? I'm going to use my hands, engage energy there, and that lifts my spine. It separates the vertebrae a little bit more. Feeling that right back in there. And then lifting myself straight up. Sits bones feel that I'm straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and release this leg and hold underneath here. And really send that leg out, but engage here. So I don't want to hyperextend. That's when you're going to have some weakness there, okay, Sherry? So keep a little bend, but take this whole area that we massaged, pull it in, okay? Feel the knee strengthen with that. Have your hand here or release if you want to utilize more of your quadricep strength and your core strength, because look what started happening. I started going like this, right? Once I release. So if you're going to go like that, then hold on. I'd rather you have a straight spine, holding on, and you can still pull muscle to bone and strengthen that leg even with your arms here, right? And remember, a slight bend in that knee. You will weaken the knee if you hyperextend it, okay? And maybe releasing one arm, strengthening the other by holding more weight with one arm, and taking the other one. Or maybe you've released both and your spine still is straight. And then here, and bend, and hands underneath my kneecap, flex into my foot, and let's take some circles there. So your knee health begins with your feet, how you walk, what your relationship is, one foot to the other, your pace, all of that. But so just focusing on where my feet are, and that's going to affect everything up above. So then if you have a little more give here, you can lift that knee up a little higher, pulling your elbows into your body and bringing it up to wherever is right for you. Flex into that foot and feel that engagement in your shin, the muscles in the shin, by the shin area into the knee, all the way up, sitting up straight and tall, okay? Then I want you to take away the straight spine and find your forehead coming towards that knee, shoulders rounding, chin to chest. Janu Shavasana here, good pumping into the thyroid gland. And then lifting head, find straight spine, find stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, still strong leg. Release, let your leg come down slowly. Good. Let's take a few breaths there. That was quite a bit. A few inhales and exhales, slow. Let's just do a little breath work here in between, all right? I'm gonna count a set of 4. And as I do, inhale. And then as I count 4 down, that will be your exhale. If 4 is too long, go to 3. If you want to extend it to 5, go to 5, okay? But let's figure out how to really pay attention to our breath, and we'll equalize it, all right? So close your eyes if you'd like. Go ahead and begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue. You count to yourself now. 2 more. Good. All right. And then open your eyes. We'll start working with this other leg now. So bring that foot off the ground and already begin by flexing into the foot. Feel that here, all the way into the knee, all the way down into your thigh and maybe glute. You can take your hands right underneath your thigh. And sitting up again, straight and tall here. Let's go ahead and extend. But again, where are those muscle groups really pulling in here with that flexed foot, feeling that all the way down into your leg, pushing through here, taking a look and see that I still have a little bend in that knee. Bring it back in. Let's extend it out again. But when we extend, not hyperextend, okay? A little bend there. Effect flexed in the foot. And again, do you want to release both hands? But if I go like this, I want to stay upright. I'm going to leave one hand maybe. Take the whole weight. Stretch the other one out. Be strong in all my limbs, including this one. Press down into the ground, okay? And this hand here, release. This hand comes out. Sitting up straighter, taller. Maybe both hands. Notice what happens. A lot more work in our thigh, and then we start to collapse in our core. Go ahead and bring that leg in, and let's go ahead and take some circles with that ankle. And reversing, feeling that in your ankle. I know mine's really feeling the need for this for some reason today. I must have done something to my ankle there. And then holding on, let's bring that knee up. Take your hands here, interlace, sit up straight. This is going to cause us to want to lean back. That's something different. We don't want to do that right yet. Let's pull ourselves up, interlace, keep pulling that knee in. Keep flexing your foot. Keep strength in this leg too, pressing down into the earth. Remember, it counts 2. And then when you're ready, go into curling into yourself. Pull the shoulders down and forward. Let your chin come to your chest. Let yourself round into your spine. Let yourself really find forehead and knee connection there. Pituitary glands, thyroid glands, pituitary in the head area, thyroid in the throat, thymus too, because we're curled in onto the thymus, right behind the sternum. Then bring yourself up. Releasing the leg, take it on down. Sitting up straight and tall. Let's do another breath exercise here. This one is really to help enlarge the lung area, the lung tissue that sometimes in our normal breath we don't do. I want you to watch first though, because this takes a little coordination, okay? So watch and listen. The first thing I'll do is I'm going to interlace and I'm going to put my knuckles right underneath my chin that begins at a parallel position. I try as much as possible to pull my forearms together. And that's not going to happen because we've got breasts in the way, right? So we're going to do that, pull the shoulders down. And on an inhale through my nose, again, just be watching. I inhale, and of course I'm speaking, but I would be inhaling this whole time as I keep my chin parallel. I reach my elbows up. When I finish, I hold, and then I start looking up, bringing my elbows together and make a sound coming out of my mouth, exhaling. As my elbows come together, my elbows stay up together, and then I begin to inhale leaving my elbows still up and bringing them back right here, back to parallel position. Okay, so we don't come back into here. This is just our starting place. So let me just show you two of those, okay? So we begin here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. That really expands because of the movement of our arms. It's expanding the lungs' capacity to breathe. And I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, Lori, looking for some more expansion. So let's see how we do with that, okay? And I will do it with you. Let's go ahead and cross our hands and take our elbows as close together as possible, seeing that we are connecting. This is the big thing right here. Connect these knuckles right here and they don't move, okay? All right, so just take a good exhale and then begin with your inhale. Chin stays parallel. Exhale. Breathe out of your mouth. Bring elbows together. Look up. Inhale, elbows pull apart. Chin comes back to level. Take it through and then exhale. Keep going. We're going to do 10. Really lifting. Really letting go. One more. And releasing hands down. Take some normal breaths after that. You probably extended that breath from 4 seconds to maybe 5 or 6 or 7. And you really had that expansion and contraction going in your whole abdominal cavity and that lengthening too into the side body. Just close your eyes and take a couple breaths here. That is one of those kind of head rushes because you get so much powerful oxygen being sent into your brain, but we're not like breathing fast. It's really slow breath, so we're not hyperventilating or anything like that. It just sends some loving, breathing, living oxygen to our brains. All right, let's work a little bit more with the lower body and the upper body. Blocks will be nice to have here. I'm going to take one leg and extend it out. Now remember, when I say extend, does not mean hyperextend. It means I'm going to extend energy into my leg, into the muscles surrounding my knee, okay? Find that first. I'm on my heel of the leg that's extended out, okay? And again, wrapping muscles right around here. Taking the other leg out just a bit, okay? So I've got an external rotation on both, but with a bent knee and a straight leg, okay? And I'm going to take my block down here. I'm going to make sure I keep noting that I have that slight bend and that I'm pulling in muscle to bone, all right? right? And now I've got to press into my heel to remind me to do that. And then I'm going to come on over here and let myself look up into a little bit of a twist here. And let myself come back. Bring down my arm into cactus. Paying attention, is this leg still fully engaged, especially around the knee? Okay. Back to extension. Back here. Back to extension. And then one more time, kind of open up. Letting the upper shoulder pull back. And then bringing myself back. And taking my left hand, or that hand that was over, it might have been your right, to my hip, the other hand to my thigh. Bring my body upright, both hands on my hips. Before I changed out my legs, let's just take some circles. And these circles are going to seem kind of awkward because of the way our legs are. But I want you to focus on keeping your spine straight in awkward times, okay? And then go around in the opposite way. Continue lengthening. Good. And then we're going to switch. So I'm going to bend into this leg. And I'm going to straighten this. But again, not hyperextending, a little bend. Lift muscles all the way into my glutes here, okay? So you should feel that and hold on to that little micro bend and have your heel taking energy into the ground, all your muscles coming in and connecting, taking your hand to block. You don't have a block. Go ahead here to your thigh, all right? Just don't hang in space. Don't want any of that. And again, keep sending that energy through your leg. Open up here through the side body. Really feeling that nice, beautiful, long length, graceful line of energy. And then pull that upper shoulder back. Looking up, press into heel. Coming back here. Pull down into cactus. Lengthen. Pull down into cactus. What's going on with this leg? Pull in. Lengthen. Open up. Bringing myself back. This hand comes onto hip. The other one onto thigh. Bringing myself up. And from here, just taking from here up movements. Straight spine. Feeling that in your obliques. Good. And bring that leg in. Let's come into our wide-legged, toes out, heels in position. Take your blocks. You have them. Don't have blocks, then use your thighs or use your shins, because we're going to take a straight spine. And you might want to scoot back a little bit on your chair. Take that straight spine by having straight legs, straight arms. Your legs are obviously bent, but a spine is straight so that I feel the crown that way. I feel my tailbone that way, making a nice line there. And keeping that straight spine, maybe walking my hands out a bit without rounding into my spine. Now, you may not just stop where you're no longer having a straight spine. You want to keep that straight spine. So back off if you come into rounded. And now my legs, my knees are wanting to come with me. I want to pull them back out. That takes energy in my glutes to push down into my feet and to keep my knees from following the weight of my body forward. Maybe you walk another inch forward, press your hands into blocks or onto the ground maybe by now. Keep those knees open. They want to come in, let them stay out, press down into your feet. Feel that into your glutes. And Walk back up with a straight spine. Hands come one at a time to your thighs and bring yourself up. Oof, and let your knees cave in, right? Let your legs come together, zip them together, let the knees cave in and feel what we just did on the outside of our legs. Sitting up straight and tall, I know it's not always an easy place to find yourself. Feet come back and we're about the distance of the chair legs now. Feet are forward instead of toes out, heels in. I'm going to take the blocks to the outside of my feet. And I'm going to find my straight spine again. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to take that straight spine and I'm going to find those circles with my hips, with my chest, noticing how I go from straight arms to bent elbows. Right? And this alone, keeping focus on straight spine as you go around and reverse, will help strengthen all of these muscles that we need to have our posture aligned. Everything affects the other. Good. And same thing, even with knees, Sherry. Posture is going to affect your knees, just like your walking is going to affect your knees. Everything has an effect on the other. As Lori's finding out, you know, with her injury that's been hopefully helped by surgery, that, you know, it's affected now other things, right? So our bodies are meant to work in synchronicity, one thing with the other. And when one thing goes out the door, then everything else has some little trickling or maybe a waterfall effect, all right? So let's go ahead now and take our feet together, place ourselves back, hips back towards the back of your chair, and let your spine come in contact with the chair. Now, some of your chairs are more formal and they're like this, right, straight up. Some of you have an angle in your chair. Mine has a bit of an angle, so I'm angled back, but my spine is still following that in a straight pattern, right? This is not normally how we sit though, is it? So how would I normally sit in this chair? Probably kind of like this, right? And a little bit bent, not too, but a little bit. My legs are open, my arms are just kind of relieved. But let's go ahead and again, pay attention to the anatomy of that chair and our own anatomy. And I'm going to keep my legs pulling together. That takes energy because they really, like I said, when I said this is how I would normally sit, my legs aren't going to be like this. I'm using my adductor muscles to kind of squeeze in and pull those legs together. I'm using, even with my shoulders on the chair, I'm using my core to keep my spine straight and not do this, okay? So find that attention in your, not attention, but attention to your spine, you attending to it, and it lifting as if it's in attention, like, you know, tension, tentat, whatever they do in that world of military stuff. Pull elbows in, just try to bring the whole body centered here. And again, what part of your spine is connecting with the chair? Can you press into your feet a little bit more here? Let's make this seemingly inactive posture being very active by squeezing our legs together. That includes my ankles, squeezing the inner part of my feet together, pushing down into the earth, squeezing my knees together, squeezing up into the back of my chair, pressing my hands down onto my thighs. And again, this looks the same if I'm doing something or not. So you can choose. But if you are, You are working all of your muscles right now by pressing. Let's squeeze our arms into the side of our body too. And squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And whoo, let yourself go. We have to do that sometimes. We have to let ourselves sometimes have a posture that's not attention, right? We need to relax. So let your feet just kind of come together. We're on the outside of our feet. And I'm going to slide myself forward with a straight spine to begin with. Maybe blocks will help with that straight spine. And then I'm going to let my spine go and let my heavy head follow it. So I'm really rounded here. Shoulders are weighted down and forward. My chin is as well. Find your breath, and I know it's constricted. And then raise your head up and put a weight into your blocks, lengthening through your arms, lengthening through your spine. And let's do that one more time. Bend and release. Really let yourself go here. But you're still supported. We're not just like hanging without support. Our hands are supported on the blocks. Our bodies are supported on our thighs. Our body is supported on the chair. Lift your head, press into the blocks, straight spine, feet come down, flat on the ground. Hands one at a time to your thighs, straight spine. Bring yourself up. Nice. And let your spine come back into the chair. Take a couple breaths. All right, and now let's pull ourselves away from the back of the chair one more time. Let's do one more thing for those knees. But as we're working on the knees, we'll still continue to work with our nice straight spine. So let's take one leg over the chair and let's extend the other leg out. But again, not hyperextending, all right? So as soon as I do, I take the muscles to my knee, I take the muscles into my thigh, I take the muscles into my glute, and that all started from my foot being flexed and my heel sending that energy all the way up into here and making sure I've got that little bit of a bend, micro bend here. And then I look over the leg that's to the side of the chair, still staying active with this leg. And I'm taking and crossing one hand over to my thigh, the other hand behind me in the chair. And I want to come into a twist here. So I'm going to go ahead and let myself turn my back shoulder back, my left shoulder forward. And then slowly releasing little by little back so that I'm facing that leg that's over the chair, the bent leg. Checking into this leg, right? Make sure that it's still doing what it's supposed to, and that means staying strong and active. Taking my other hand behind me and the other one on my bent leg and take a twist in this direction. Good, nice, yes. And come on back around. Okay, let's go ahead and bend into this leg. Before we switch, let's just take 4 circles and let your body go here. Let your spine not necessarily be straight. Do a little bit of seaweed asana with your upper body, and then take it and twist it in the, not twist it, but turn it and rotate and make circles. Going the other way. And then let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Okay, one leg bent, right? knee and ankle connecting together. That's the other thing with the knee, is make sure you are utilizing the strength of the joints above it and below it to strengthen it, okay? And so again, here we are. Strong ankle, strong heel, and slight bend, muscles engaged. Bring that engagement all the way up here, sitting up straight and tall, and then taking my gaze in this direction. Now I'm going to go ahead, cross hand over to bent knee, other hand comes behind, pushing through that heel, but not to hyperextend. Still keep that slight micro bend and take my turn over my shoulder. Bringing myself back and releasing in the opposite way. Hand behind me, other hand on me. Take myself and bring myself forward. Squeeze into your knee of that extended leg, okay? Squeeze in all your muscles to bone. And then bring yourself back. Bring that leg in, and here, inhale, lift. Cow. Exhale, cat. Round. Done a lot with straight spine. Let it be free here. Two more. Good. Sitting up and straight and tall. Let's go ahead and take our legs back. Done a lot today with legs, with hips, with arms, with spine. And that's a lot in 55 minutes. So let's go ahead and find ourselves in our mountain pose. So our backs are away from the back of the chair. Everything is in alignment here. Taking some breaths. And then doing a little bit of a sun salutation with our arms. Inhale. Exhale, the hands come into Anjali Mudra. Rise up. Rising sun. Setting sun. Rising moon. Setting moon. Rising sun. Setting sun. One more moon phase, rising moon. Setting moon. And stay at heart center. Few breaths here. I honor that place in you where the universe dwells. And I honor that place in you where there is love and there is light and there is peace and there is joy. For when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one and we are connected. Thank you for your presence. It's always a gift from my heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you, Sherry and Lori. I hope that I tended to some of your needs today and that you will attend to them as well. As you walk, you're going to check into those feet. As you sit, stand, move, you're going to check into the feet and the legs, Lori, and Sherry, and how you're protecting that knee